Well, so again, we have to tell you where you can reach us and get interactive from, and that's on Facebook, JoyNews on TV. We're always there, we're always live, and that's what's important. Give us more of your comments, and you can tweet us at JoyNews on TV, and then also you can watch us regularly through our channel on YouTube, My Joy Online TV, but we're also live here, and definitely. I've been joined by Mapitso, and we have Kofi here, Joseph Akable.
Good morning, Roland.
That's Frimpong. I always say, so where do we place it? Joseph Kofi?
Joseph Kofi Frimpong Akable.
Fantastic.
But just Joseph Akable is fine.
Yeah, I know. As your pen name, so we'll use it that way. And how was your weekend?
It wasn't bad. I relaxed a lot.
Did you
watch the royal wedding?
That's always our foremost question this morning.
I did.
I love the makeup-less face of Meghan Markle. Oh, the Duchess of Sussex.
Yes.
Was beautiful.
What excited me was the coverage of the wedding, not what happened at the wedding, how the BBC covered it.
Okay.
I mean,
Where?
right from when they were exiting their homes, the vehicle moving towards it.
Yeah.
I thought it was very comprehensive.
And it was. And even hours after, even to the reception lecture, the prince shed a tear.
Yeah.
That's so romantic.
It is, right?
Yeah.
It is,
and the way they were holding hands even before the vows were said.
Yeah.
I thought, Charlie, this couple really, because to be a biracial, to be classified as a black, Ghana we say mulatto
and the entire service had a bit of a concerted attempt to make blacks feature in it.
Yes.
Yeah,
the choir,
the preacher.
Yeah.
Was in it. Even the BBC's own coverage, when they were being on the streets of Windsor, you could see the other black reporter speak to people from Ghana, Nigeria, and other countries.
There was particularly this woman, apparently who was from Ghana.
Yes,
was chewing gum before Evelyn. I love that woman. Had to spit the gum out before, and she also loved the fact that the person is black.
You watched it too much.
He was in there.
I followed it. I felt like really I could have been there. It was like a coverage made for all of us around the world. Like it's a Commonwealth coverage.
Yeah.
Right. I wish it was you who was being married, Charlie. Like right from the show, you are now a princess.
She would have sent us an invite. I mean,
sharp.
Of course, you would have been in there.
Actually, just in 2 months' time, I would have asked her for an invite to come and spend some time.
Obviously.
And because Charlie, in Cabedo, but that's wishful thinking. Right?
Yeah.
So we have to do the newspapers.
All right.
And today, can we break the from the norm a bit? Go to the Ghanaian Times first with you, Joseph.
So let's start. It has a photograph of former President John Dramani Mahama, and it says, "Our contest 2020 election is coming from John Mahama."
This has been in the news for some time.
I mean,
there's always that speculation.
I think it was always obvious.
Yeah.
Anyone who wants to contest an election after losing, I mean, will obviously be around. He has been addressing the NDC unity work across the country. That doesn't show someone who was not interested in contesting. If he was, he would have given up on politics and concentrated on other things. But he has been in all 9 regions that has been addressed. He has been a lead speaker, so it was expected, but he has finally announced it. Support police to enforce laws coming from the president, Nana Danko Akufo-Addo. His photograph is also on the front page, and Finance Ministry approves GPHA contract with IPSTEC, also being reported by the Ghanaian Times this morning.
Oh, do you have anything on the back page?
Satellites progress with 2-0 win over Algeria's Junior Foxes, and Midiama Pip Eduana to go top is also being reported, and that is some football news from the Ghana Premier League there.
Well, we shouldn't forget the World Cup is coming up, so we're looking forward to it.
Yes, we are.
Right. We have to do the Daily Graphic.
So let's go to the Daily Graphic, and top story is anxiety rises in football circles, and this is because Anas's video exposes corrupt practices. So what is called number 12, and when misconduct and greed become the norm, and is scheduled to air on June 6, 2018. So it promises to expose greed and corruption in Ghana's football. People are very anxious, but the funny thing is that Anas has not mentioned any names.
Yeah, and there are a number of videos giving indication.
Yeah.
Sometimes they have the names of is it the president? Or is it president of the Football Association? That's it.
Yeah.
All those speculations.
He's one individual that a lot of people in the football circles have claimed he engages in practices that are not necessarily very good.
Yeah.
So people think he may be captured it on tape. But I mean, no one knows. I mean, it's only Anas. I'm sure.
Yeah,
Anas
we don't know.
Is the best
we don't know.
Let's just see how it goes.
I'm trying to see whether I can get a ticket to be at that premiere, but I don't know whether it's the right place to be.
From my experience watching that of the judges, I would prefer to wait, let it come out and watch.
Okay.
I mean, there was a lot of buzz. I mean, at the conference center, rushing in.
Okay, so this is what happens. It means that you don't tend to have the free mind to properly ingest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so even on that day, but it's still exciting. It comes with some feel. It shows you how Ghanaians or people want to see others kind of fall. I mean, in this case, corruption.
The thing is that poor people always want to see those who are rich poor. It's a poverty mentality. Seriously.
Pull him down.
But yeah, it's poverty.
Immediately, when
somebody's successful,
when someone gets an appointment, so you're working in town, you see someone in a big vehicle. The person is young. The first reaction is either blood money.
Or
he did Sakawa.
He did Sakawa. You know, me, I don't think that even though I may not have the money, but I feel rather I would want to aspire to get to some great levels. Because somebody's young, this is where pretty much having lots of, there are people who I'm older than who are rich, very rich. Some I'm even older than, they give me business to do. So I call him sir, but I know I'm older than the gentleman. So I think that rather we need to change our mentality in such a way that we have to make sure that when people are successful, we rather ask them how did they become successful. The other thing too is that because our regulations and laws don't work, so it leaves us to speculate. Because when somebody has money, there's no transparent way for which the law may have worked for us to know that maybe this guy's business grew at this point, was through this. So you can track. All of a sudden you see the person. Yes. Even though we all see people when they're successful, the thing is you can track how they made their money.
So that is why in the past
either from the tax collector or somebody.
Yeah, in the past people have made calls for the bit about asset declaration to be made public. The current system, you just publish it, it's in an envelope with Auditor General. You need an order of a court in extreme circumstances before you can have access to it. But they're saying that when you publish it, you know that MAPS owns 3 vehicles. If all of a sudden I see you driving a new vehicle, like, knowing very well that your salary cannot provide that, it quickly triggers some form of investigation. But let's see how that one turns out. Analysis.
But it's a poverty mentality. We shouldn't be thinking everybody who is rich or has made it stole the money or got it from ill-gotten means. I think that's a bad way to think.
All right, more stories from the Daily Graphic. Watch out, contaminated fuel on the market, and that story is on page 16. And on page 19, Mahama hints of comeback and eyes NDC flag bearer slot. And on page 87, Evangelist, 42 years old, wins MTN Heroes of Change.
And we know we gave out 6 tickets last week to our viewers. And, well, I called the other member of parliament who took it and said that it was a great event.
Is it?
Yes, it was.
And then on the back page, satellites cruise past Algeria and police lady strikers draw. So that's some football and sports.
At that same event, though, we had Seth Kwame Boateng as well as Joseph Opoku Gapo, all being rewarded or acknowledged for their good work they've been doing, helping to improve the state of poverty of people. Joseph.
Yes, I mean, I think congratulations to our colleagues, Seth and Joseph. But we can do the daily guide. It says it has a report on that event. Naomi Amwa wins MTN Heroes of Change. Comes along with her photograph and that of the second lady, Samira Baumia. And our lead NDC 2020, Mahama, declares.
Oh, he never said that.
Yeah, I mean, he just...
He said that he's listened to the calls and he'll make an announcement in due course.
He'll respond once the party publishes how they intend to elect a leader. So it's more of a hint, not a statement.
The media, we can speculate. It's not that we put people in too much trouble.
We do. Let him shock everyone and say, Charlie,
actually, I'm not going to do it.
It won't happen.
My opponents have no messages coming from President Akufo-Addo. He said this at the Bonahafo region over the weekend. And Finance Ministerial case, Tadi container terminal contract also being reported by the Daily Guide. But the center spread, we can obviously expect the royal wedding. I was looking out for the suit cast as well. And Rick Hoffman is Louis Litton suit. He was there. Mike Ross was also present. Harvey Specter. Those are the names I know in terms of.
You saw George Clooney, Oprah Winfrey, and number of
Idris
them.
Elba.
Idris Elba.
That's a big word. A nice photograph there. Prince Harry in his military wear, and Meghan Markle, nice gown. It was very long, all on the ground.
It was very long and simple.
Yeah, very simple.
Very simple.
But also designed by a British designer who is with, is it Gucci or Givenchy or something?
I didn't know.
One of them. One of those houses. And it was great. I thought, I was asking a friend of mine, would you have worn this one? And she said no. Because she would have thought it would have been too simple. But I was telling her, this is expensive.
I was about to say, it's simple,
this is expensive.
but it costs money.
That face is makeupless, but expensive face.
That lip balm, probably, I don't know how many salaries.
Yeah, I know. But I'm told that the Duchess has done a lot to British fashion, especially the clothing lines and the stores that produce for the masses, Mark and Spencer and the other ones. So she buys, let's say, £150 bags, uses £200 dresses and all that. So doesn't go for the 10,000, 5,000, you know. And then immediately she wears them. We get to find that a lot of average people go to those shops to buy. They forget about all the big designers and go for those average ones.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so that's what she's been able to do since she came into the life of the British society so far, and that was great. That was great. And this one also told us that apparently for all the things that they say about LGBT and all that, they still have the conservative church activities and still are a bit religious. Because there's an Anglican church, is it not?
Yeah.
All right.
It's actually the Church of England. The Anglican Church is the Church of England. I mean, so it has that role. So it was expected that the wedding would take place in that beautiful church. I mean,
Charlie.
Ancient, beautiful church.
This church. Charlie is beautiful.
Watch the boy behind.
Yeah. And I'm told that the two boys are children of her best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, of her best friend. So everything was made to accommodate her into the wedding. That was great. I know the next one. You're going to marry a prince, right? Zulu prince.
I'm okay.
You're okay?
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But an African prince would have been entitled to take more wives after this, though.
Obviously.
Of course.
You can pick about two or
But
three
only
more.
this one. You can't take. If you want to take the next one, you have to divorce to go to the next one.
People talk on social media has been about their ages too. You
Yeah.
know, the prince is 34, she's
And those are
37.
36 and a divorcee.
Divorcee as well.
That's true love,
But
man.
does it matter?
No,
I don't think it
they're
matters.
all saying that means that it's true love.
Yeah.
It means that Charlie, the guy really loves the lady. Oh,
Look at that smile on his face.
Charlie, the guy, oh, too bad.
Nerves.
What? This is real Odo. Not the one they've been singing in the, no. Yeah.
This one.
This is the proper
The
Odo.
real one.
Proper
Yeah,
Odo.
yeah.
Anyway, are you done?
Yes, obviously.
You're almost
the
done.
center spread. The other one has to do the MTN Heroes of Change. Naomi Amwa winning.
Okay.
Details of that story. And
They didn't
Yvonne
put
Nelson,
that set Kwame
Yvonne
Boateng
Okoro.
and then
No.
Joseph
Their names are in the story. The photograph accompanying, interestingly, has Joseph on the left side and Seth on the right side.
Fantastic. Congratulations again to two of our colleagues. At least we also get to get some accolades.
Yeah. So that is it for the Daily Guide this morning.
All right, so let me look at the Daily Dispatch newspaper. You know the president's convoy was involved in an accident?
Yes.
So the news circulated throughout the weekend. It says an articulated truck rams into president convoy. President is safe though, but staff are slightly injured. And the staffer is the Deputy Chief of Staff, Francis Asenso-Boakye. And we know that we've had a number of accidents lately. Especially when it rains, we have a number of them on the motorway, especially.
Yeah.
And there's bad. It's just the way we drive, right?
It's the way we drive, the state of our roads.
Yeah, true.
You see, so.
True.
But it's worrying when a vehicle runs into the president's convoy. Ordinarily, we know that they move with dispatch riders. They are supposed to ensure that ahead and behind you don't have any vehicles interfering. So it means that something went wrong along the road.
Yeah.
I mean, for that person to be able to move in midway, because the chief of staff, the deputy chief of staff vehicle we are to doesn't lead the convoy. It's within the convoy. So it could have easily been the president's vehicle that the gentleman may have run into. And I think the security
because
detail...
the president usually is not in front, right?
No, it's obviously in the middle. Same with the deputy chief of staff, who is also within the convoy. So the president's security detail needs to pay closer attention going forward when he travels around the country. I don't think it's any news that we all want to hear. Anything associated with the president involved in any form of accident. Same with ordinary citizens too, we don't expect any accident to take place, but some special attention should be paid to the president.
Well, we have other stories there. It says MPP dealing with GVG Kel here after NDC dealt with Suba and AfriWave. Imani's Franklin Kujon. We know this has been getting
some attention.
Yes, we'll take a look at it in the other newspapers. Kandapa launches Operation Kondango. Yeah, this name is a bit mouthful. Basically, it's about, let's try and see whether we can get a gist of that story. What it means, I'm sure it will be about security, definitely. Okay, let me see what the story is. Story. Kendapa.
The National Security Minister. He has been quiet for some time now. It's good to hear him speaking and launching some operation one way or the other.
I can't find the story. Well, can we move on? I can't seem to.
Well, let's do the BNFT while you try and identify.
Oh, okay, it's here. It says the Ministry of National Security has announced that Ghana has partnered with neighboring countries Togo, Burkina Faso, and Benin to tighten security along its borders, and that's the name. You're speaking. Okay, it was a statement that was made on behalf of the minister, really. Okay, let's move on.
So it has to do with border security.
Okay. And they also given us details of all the 64 matches of the World Cup. So that's it. All right, let's move on.
We can do the BNFT. It says Ore Mines.
As a Business and Financial Times.
Yes,
okay.
An emerging glory. Maritime boundary with Togo needs attention. It's coming from an energy economist. And policy rate cut could disturb banks, also being reported by the Business and Financial Times. So that is the main story on the front page this morning. You can check out the Finder.
Okay, so let's go to the Finder and top story. Row over $89 million 5-year contract. So Iranian Communications Minister in heated exchanges. So there's a picture of Ursula Owusu there and Franklin Kojo. And let's go to page 10 where Finance Ministry endorses GPA HA contract with Ibistrik. And story on page 2, Mahama hints on contesting election in 2020. And if we can go to page 10, Samira rallies Ghanaians to give to charity. So do you give to charity?
Yeah, I do.
Or is it? How often?
Every month I do something.
Something, okay, yeah. So Second Lady Samira Bamea with MTN Heroes of Change winner on page 10 there. And the story on page 8 says, my opponents will have no message by 2020, and that's coming from President Akufo.
So his main opponents are the NDC, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. He's saying that by 2020 he would have achieved so much that
they will be tight-lipped.
And this row Imani Ghana is having with the Ministry of Communications over a contract they've signed. They are likely to be the Suba-like AfriWave kind of contract. It's about
the same monitoring of revenue inflow that you had Suba doing. Imani tells us the agreement is the same. I've seen a release from the ministry saying that
they have terminated.
It's not exactly the same.
And they have terminated.
They have terminated that as well. But I think it's a bit untidy. I just feel listening to the Imani vice president complain about it, especially when government, this Suba AfriWave thing came up in the past. The then MPP in opposition had raised questions.
I think it's one of the attacks. They always say Suba, Jida,
and you see.
So now I guess we have to substitute. Let me see to substitute with something.
They name it among the other cases of corruption that have been confirmed.
Yeah, we are now you go on to go and do the same thing.
Exactly. So
now you're justifying it. Yeah.
It tells you a lot about the kind of politics we run in the country. But it's just still a conversation that is still coming up. We'll just see how it turns out eventually.
Well, we're watching them. We'll see how it unfolds. That's the thing. All right. So let's do, I guess, the last paper. The Herald says Franklin Kujo and Ursula Owusu in war of words over $89 million telecom deal with Dodge company. Akufo-Addo caught in his own trap 3 years after $10 million presidential diaries allegation against Mahama. More trouble for Volta MPP as Kenanku joins legal battle against party. Lawyer Kenanku, good morning to you, wherever you find yourself. It's been a while. I'll try and get in touch. But this one is about the presidential diaries that were printed. And we had the director of communications come to tell the media that they were printed without any government support, and that's
private company.
Yeah, that sponsorship, corporate agencies, and the same thing was, the allegation was still leveled against a number of individuals in the Mahama administration who were working at the presidency. They said that it was private money and that not necessarily state money. So, but what you criticize when you're in opposition, you come to government, you repeat the same thing. And so I don't know how they want us to take into perspective some of the things.
Politics without principles. If you ask me. I mean,
the thing is that was it wrong then? If it was wrong then it should be wrong now. If it wasn't wrong, why did you then criticize at that time?
We sometimes cause it because we raise issues when genuinely there are no issues. I don't even understand why a diary that is for the presidency should be paid by a private company.
Right.
If you have a private company and you want a diary, you pay it yourself. If you're a government agency and you want a diary, you should pay it yourself. But we'll raise issues with it anytime, and now we've created a situation where even if it's
for
by
the presidential diaries,
accept.
they go to, let's say, the embassies, some certain diplomatic points, and then you give them out to foreigners, etc. So they try to put in some top corporations to have advertorials, so that they become also some selling points for those companies abroad and all that.
That's fine, but I mean, you get a sense of government wanting to run away from any perception that suggests that it's state funds that has been used, and that is what I'm saying is problematic. It's because
I agree.
The kind of criticism they have raised in the past.
I agree with you. Well, we'll see how that goes. But that's where we have to go on to the online portals. We go to myjoyonline.com, and then we'll look at the other online portals as well. So myjoyonline.com will be on your screens very soon. And please get interactive while we ready ourselves to look at the online portal. Mapito will look at myjoyonline.com, and then also we will tell you, as always, what you need to know. Today on the show, we're looking at a premiere of Seth Kwame Boateng's latest documentaries about some of the difficulties that women go through. We're talking at Clamshell this morning. And Maps.
All right, so let's go to my joint line. U.S. to probe Trump campaign infiltration, and that's the first story there. And let's unite for national development, and this is President Akufo-Addo who's appealing to citizens. So he has called for unity among Ghanaians to serve as stimulus for total national socio-economic transformation and accelerated development. And if we go to the hooray, and the president took some leave. Though not enough leave days, I was highly elated to hear in the news on May 10, 2018, that the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has taken a 1-week annual.
So that's actually an opinion piece. This gentleman had written something asking that the president takes a leave, and the president took 1 week leave. So he's excited that at least maybe someone had seen his article, or just a matter of coincidence, but he's happy the president took the leave with his children, grandchildren, all going to rest for 1 week.
But his concern was, why didn't he take it here in Ghana, and he went to the UK?
Yeah, when you take a look at the opinion.
It's a legitimate concern.
Well, the president can take leave anywhere he wants, so I think. But maybe as a leader, you just give the indication. If, let's say, the president was rather in Mole Park or somewhere, then we have the pictures. Then we encourage more people to
go.
I think that's the perspective.
If the president can go to Mole Park or to Pedwase Valley Resort, then so can I. You know, if the president can do it, so can I. Yeah.
I think it's the leadership by example attitude that I guess the opinion is talking about.
Some more stories on myjoyonline.com. It says, did 20 MPs on health committee take 400,000 cedis from NHIS without entry? That is according to an audit report that has cited 20 members of Parliament's health committee for receiving 400,000 cedis from the NHIS for publicity and education purposes without receipts. So that story is also fresh. We expect it to be topical. This week, we are told that some monies were paid by the NHIA to the MPs who are on the health committee. They were supposed to use that money to engage in publicity in their constituencies, encouraging people to.
Are we saying it is wrong?
Join the NHIS. No one has said that so far, but at least the concern is that it's captured in the books of the NHIA that the money was paid, but there's no acknowledgement of receipts. So the concern is whether the money was indeed sent to the MPs. That is one, and secondly, whether the intended purpose, that is the education is supposed to lead in the constituency, whether they carried out that education or not. So those are the two main issues so far.
I get that point.
Samson's take, staff NCC et al., that is an others, endanger our democracy. It's unacceptable that state attorneys have to buy furniture, printers and cartridges, fix office doors and locks, repair air conditioners, paint rooms, fix curtains, etc. in their offices. So that is some of the challenges that state attorneys go through. And Samson Ladi, a private legal practitioner, is raising concerns about how we stand to endanger our democracy if such state institutions are not adequately resourced. Let's see how that goes. Mom, should we take this one?
Okay, so on the scene, 35 awesome moments at the royal wedding. All the must-see moments from Harry and Meghan's wedding, from the A-list arrivals to the carriage ride through the streets of Windsor.
Windsor Castle.
Chelsea owner Abramovich UK visa not renewed. That is not good news there. We are told he did not attend Saturday's FA Cup final over Manchester United because he had not had his UK visa renewed, the Financial Times reports.
He's a rich man. I'll be
Very.
surprised that he... Anyway.
Government hid cost of Momo interoperability. Adongo claims that story from Newsfile over the weekend. The Momo interoperability story never ending anytime soon. I think those are the main stories on myjoyonline.com. There's another one about massive infrastructure development coming to SHS this year. It's coming from President Akufo-Addo. And so those are the main stories on myjoyonline.com. Sure, you can do some stories on the BBC or City.
So let's go to City first. So government is struggling to fulfill promises. This is from Spio Ugaba. And
$89 million telecom deal puts Ghanaians' data at risk. It's coming from Franklin Kujo. He's the president of Imani Ghana.
And the president, Nana Akufo-Addo, says end backward political violence in
Asunafo South. Asunafo South.
Asunafo South.
Anti-coup era over. Budukumsin warns of militarization of police. That is coming from a security analyst. And corruption is reducing under my tenure. It's coming from President Akufo-Addo.
All presidents say that, don't they?
Yes.
They always do. And when people say they are
JDM also said he even has started prosecuting his own people, so no president has ever done that.
And when allegations of corruption are leveled against their appointees, you always hear them say
I remember during the Kufuor era, they said bring evidence and all that. Yeah.
The president told us
they always have a very good way of telling
he said, no matter how long a wood stays underneath the river, it doesn't become a crocodile.
Who said that one?
The president. He said it in Parliament. Yes, so you can call
no
it.
No matter what.
How long a time wood remains in the river, it cannot become a crocodile. So you can say they are corrupt, but they don't become corrupt simply by saying they are corrupt. I mean, they need to engage in corruption. And he says no one is corrupt.
I see.
And the most read is they say that hardworking immigrants in the U.S., Ghanaians are most hardworking immigrants in the U.S.
Anyway, we wake up early, so I guess I think we should be among some of the hardworking Ghanaians in the country.
I'm wondering how exactly that is assessed.
No, I mean Ghana. I mean, you and I.
Do you have an option? I mean, that's the question. I'm sure people, those watching, they wake up early in the morning hoping to see you on TV. I don't think they'll be happy if they wake up and they see the empty seats.
Yeah, true.
And there's a text that says that the guys are in traffic.
Yeah.
Or let them watch the BBC or something. I get your point. I get your point. We have no option.
You have no option. You have to be here.
Holidays, you've been scheduled to camp.
Yeah.
So let's just say we are hardworking by default. I mean, I think that sounds better.
That makes more sense.
If we're working in a corporate institution, that one we'll take it easy. Let's say ministry, we'll take it easy, right?
Yeah.
We'll go to the office at 9, close at 4. You know. I don't know. Okay, so let's do some international news.
U.S. to probe Trump campaign infiltration.
And this will never go away, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I mean...
we're trying to make sure that whether Russia or any other entity was involved in making him president.
Yeah. In fact, we know that is that investigation that led to Mr. Trump firing the FBI boss. FBI boss Jim Comey in his book claims Donald Trump had talked him out, trying to encourage him to drop the investigation against him. And he simply couldn't do that, he says. And because of that, shortly afterwards, he heard that he had been fired by Mr. Trump. But it appears that firing didn't end the investigation.
Definitely.
It's still ongoing. People are interested in the Russian elements, and let's see how that goes.
It's not the first time president to be investigated, though, in the United States of America.
Yeah.
So listen, the royal wedding in pictures, 5 moments from the royal wedding, Meghan Markle's wedding dress in detail. So this royal wedding, it's going to be in the headlines for quite a while. Yeah, and then stars call for action on gender inequality.
Yeah,
So-
I see the Black Panther in there.
Yes, Helena Dunham.
What's his
Oprah
name? Scott
Winfrey,
Chadwick.
I only know him as the Black Panther.
Chadwick B.
Chadwick Boss.
B.
Yeah. It's always easy to say B.
Yeah, Chadwick B.
Is it boss man or something?
Black
Alright.
Panther, that's it.
Yeah,
Black
Black
Panther,
Panther. Wakanda.
Forever.
Wakanda.
Forever.
You
Wakanda
need to
forever.
demonstrate it.
Yeah,
You need to
Wakanda
demonstrate it.
forever. You need to show them.
Okay, Wakanda.
Forever.
I mean, that African country was so beautiful. I was wondering which part of the continent they can't ever be. Not even South Africa. Charlie, science level of the Africans, they were just...
Maybe in the next 200 years or so.
I think
Then
1,000
Africa.
years. 200 years is too...
It's too close.
Because the way we do our things, the scientists, they come from the university and think they can't produce paracetamol for us, so we have to import from GlaxoSmithKline. You know, the ones we do say it's not efficacious. I keep wondering, when can we get there? You know, the lady at the lab there, you know?
The little girl. I mean,
Yeah, the sister of the guy, the prince.
Yeah.
It was
think
just marvelous.
that's movie.
They had this virtual car that could go on. They were controlling it somewhere. There's a helicopter. I mean, Africa.
She was driving from the her lap. She was
Because
driving
even
from the-
Africa, even what Katanka, is it Katanka?
Yes.
What he does, we are not able to mass produce it. So I'm wondering,
I think that movie is a reminder of
what we could have done.
yeah, it's more like, and also a kind of a sneak peek into maybe Africa in some years to come. Maybe, just maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
We shouldn't lose hope. We shouldn't lose hope.
All right, so we have to do sports. Which of you is a Chelsea fan?
No.
None of you.
No.
It's a shame.
I
It's a
support
shame.
Barcelona. My team won yesterday.
Yeah,
by
well,
Oh,
Barcelona
forget
too.
about Barcelona. Look, we won the FA Cup.
Oh.
And
penalty, Hazard, Eden Hazard penalty. Okay, you should be happy.
yeah, I'm happy.
I'm
At
told,
least our season was not too
Chelsea
bad.
has won more trophies than Manchester United and Liverpool this season. Yeah, they've won one. Yeah.
Well, all right. And Benedict also will be here with the latest sports headlines. So make sure that you stay with us. But please get interactive. Facebook JoyNews on TV. You can also watch us live regularly through our channel on YouTube, My Online TV. We're taking a break. Sports is next.